How you doing, guys? Welcome to another episode of Fisker Outdoor Adventures. You might be saying, what the heck is a Fisker? Well, for those of you who've been wondering, Fisker is a Norwegian word for angler or fisherman. So I'm part Norwegian, so that's kind of how I came up with the name. Today, I want to discuss with you guys nighttime bass fishing. There's nothing more exciting than being out on the lake at night in the dark and hooking into a nice big fatty. So I'm going to go over some lures and stuff that we use when we night fish, things that we've had success with. Not necessarily things that are going to work everywhere, but things that have worked for us. So let's get into some of those things. Let's take a look over here. All right, well, for starters, I guess it really depends on how dark it gets, you know. We fish a local lake, Lake Ronkonkoma, where there's walleye, there's largemouth and smallmouth bass, there's yellow perch, white perch, crappie, there's catfish. But, you know, I don't go out targeting catfish. We go out, we target bass and walleye. So one of our main go-to lures in Lake Ronkonkoma, and even other lakes at night, is things that are going to rattle. So we like lipless crankbaits, preferably the Strike King red-eyed shads. When it's just getting dark, starting to get dark, I'm going to go with a certain color. I like reds. Reds to me seem to attract the bass, and lighter colors that emulate the white perch, kind of like that white. I'm going to use that for the walleye, because that's why they put walleye in that lake, was to control the white perch population. So if this looks like a small white perch, walleye going to go after it. So those are the two crankbaits that I like to use on the lakes at night. Another lure I like to use at night is the spinnerbait. Now, I was never a big fan of spinnerbaits until I finally caught a fish on one. Of course, you know, nothing works. They never work for me until you catch a fish on it. I like red blades, red hooks, white and chartreuse skirts, you know, but then I have other variations, chatterbaits, they work well at night, things that make good vibration, things that are going to attract the fish. I like multi-bladed spinnerbaits, ones like this one, and this is made by Booyah, and this has one big willow blade and then three smaller ones. They gradually get smaller. This would be my favorite style of spinnerbait to throw at night. Lots of vibration, lots of action in the water, flash, you know, for the fish to notice and strike at. And my other go-to lure for nighttime bassing is the jitterbug. Okay, I caught my personal best on a jitterbug, especially in shallow water, summertime. Best nighttime bait. Throw it out there, let it sit, give it a couple of cranks, let it twitch, let the fish come and investigate, and then when you give it that twitch, they like to strike at it. So jitterbugs made by Arbogast, or any of the top water lures like your Zara Spooks, your torpedoes, head and torpedoes, things that are going to emulate frogs at night. You could do the Wheeler Scum frogs, or frogs made by Spro, or any of those will work at night as well. So we're going to talk about, we talked about crankbaits, we talked about spinnerbaits, and we talked about topwater baits. Those would be my primary things to use at night. Another type of bait to use at night is just a simple worm. We used to do really well trolling worms. Just we rig up a plastic worm with two hooks in it, a rear and a forward hook, and just slowly troll that through the center of a lake or in a relatively troughed out area, and we've caught some really nice fish that way as well. So a couple of my favorite rods to use at night would be a fairly stiff rod for spinnerbaiting and heavier stuff like heavy frogs. This is a great rod. I love that. I've caught a lot of fish at night on this rod because this is usually my spinnerbait rod. This is a medium action, 6 foot, and it's made by Abu Garcia. It's called a Connellan Premier. Whatever reel came on it, I don't know, but this is a Quantum Cabo saltwater reel. But this rod has really good backbone for setting a hook with a spinnerbait. You want to be able to really set those hooks. And on spinnerbaits, I don't care what anybody says, always use a trailer hook. Always use a trailer hook. I can't stress how important it is that you always use a trailer hook. You want that hook to extend past the skirt so that when a fish nips at it, he's going to get that trailer hook. If he doesn't inhale the whole thing and get the main hook, he's going to nip at that skirt and he's going to get the trailer hook. You will increase your amount of hookups by double. I swear, I can't tell you how many bass we've caught, or pickerel even, that you catch them on the trailer hook because they just caught the end of the lure as it was going by. This is another good, this is the Ugly Stik GX2. Again, medium action. This is a 510. I'm not into really big long rods. This is another great rod, has great backbone for hook sets when you're throwing heavy things like spinnerbaits, things that you really need to set the hooks, weedless frogs, things that you really need to land them. And then I use my traditional medium light action rods for throwing lipless crankbaits, or even the jitterbugs. Jitterbugs, when they sit out there, a lot of times they just get inhaled, and all you got to do is really give it a little quick, and you set the hook. So those are the rods that I like to use at night. I'm not a big bait caster guy, so most of my stuff is going to be done using spinning rods and spinning reels. So once again, guys, I want to thank you for watching this episode of Fisker Outdoor Adventures. Remember to subscribe down below, click like, leave some comments, let me know what you think. Like I said, I'm going to be working on some upcoming projects. I have a couple ideas in mind. I really want to get into some better camera equipment, but all things in due time. So remember, check out Paulie at Get Real Bass Fishing, and make sure you subscribe to him. He's got a huge giveaway coming up. It's getting close. He's almost at 5,000 subscribers. When he hits 5,000, there's going to be this huge giveaway. Just look for his giveaway videos, and you'll see what that entails. And thanks for watching. We'll see you out on the water.